Politico reports that when you brought up the federal deficit at a Democratic caucus luncheon on Tuesday, you were booed.
I'm not sure.
You were booed.
I heard a lot of no's. I don't know if it maybe it's boo no or no boo or something.
Senator Joe Manchin is literally going with the "were you saying boo earns" line. No, they were not saying boo earns. They were booing you because now, as we're getting closer to supposedly going through this reconciliation thing, well, the deficit, Anna, the debt, think of the debt. We can't do anything. We can't deliver on our promises. And I don't even mean like Biden's promises. Joe Manchin, I will remind you, when Joe Biden came out with his like $2 trillion infrastructure deal or whatever, Joe Manchin was like, I'm cooler. I want $4 trillion in infrastructure spending. He never meant it. Pretending you want more infrastructure. You've been trying to stop it every step of the way. But now he's very worried about debt. And more importantly, he is saying that we've got this bipartisan bill. It's totally awesome. Can't make any promises about the reconciliation one though. And so I want to go to Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who was asked about this. What happens if they don't pass a robust reconciliation bill?
We have to hold on to that. We have to hold on to that bargain. If there is not a reconciliation bill in the House, and if the Senate does not pass the reconciliation bill, we will uphold our end of the bargain and not pass the bipartisan bill until we get all of these investments in. And I want to be clear that the investments in the bipartisan bill are not all, candy land. There are some of these quote unquote pay-fors that are very alarming that we need to see the language on. For example, some of the language around privatizing public infrastructure, putting toll roads, leasing public infrastructure to private entities are very concerning and should be concerning to every American. So we really need to see that language and see what's put in there until it reaches, when it reaches the House. Bipartisan doesn't always mean that it's in the interest of the public good, frankly. Sometimes there's a lot of corporate lobbyist giveaways in some of these bills.
Sometime, like in the bipartisan one right now. So Anna, she's saying we have enough people, we can tank this. He's saying he cannot promise that the reconciliation bill will pass, which from him seems like I will definitely kill it. And she says, in that case, we're not getting either. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think this is a fascinating game of chicken, and the Democrats, the progressive Democrats in the House should absolutely carry out the threats that AOC mentioned in that interview with Jake Tapper. Because so far, the person who has won the game of chicken has been Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin is the one who managed to get all sorts of concessions on behalf of the Republican Party in the final coronavirus relief bill during the Biden administration. And guess what? He did that in the name of bipartisanship. And how many Republicans voted for it? Zero. We know what Manchin's doing here. He's looking out for his corporate donors. And what AOC mentioned there in regard to privatizing public infrastructure is a real concern. Yeah,
you're 100% right. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I really wish we could talk more about this, but we of course will as we get closer to that reconciliation bill.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.